That's a great question about open gate. What is open gate? Because it's a terminology that people use a lot of the time, and we're not just talking about letting the dogs out, okay? Even though I do wonder often who did let the dogs out. The gate, as it were, simply refers to your imager area. So the gate would be, if you're shooting film, the part where the light rays come through and hit and expose the film. So you can see here, Hadrian holding up the Arri Alexa Mini LF. And in this case, the gate, or the recording aspect ratio, is approximately a 3:2 aspect ratio. Now, open gate just refers to recording the entire available area of your negative, whether that's a digital negative on a sensor or a film negative on a piece of film. The gate is merely the constraints or construct of that framework. So you can think of the gate surrounding being where the dogs want to get let into. You know, the dogs in this case being photons. Mm-hmm. So these photon dogs, as they were, want to come through the gate and fill that gate. Now, how you choose to constrain the gate or close the gate partway is really up to you. But some cameras, not going to name any cameras, but some cameras only, even if they have a 3:2 aspect ratio sensor, only allow you to record a video format in 16:9 or 17:9. Some cameras have a gate that is natively 1.9:1 or 2:1, and that open gate on that camera is specific to that camera. So all open gate means is the entire wide open gate where the photon dogs can get let out into. Now, how you choose to then use what comes through the gate is debatable and challenging, and this is nuanced, and that's why it's often such a debatable, confusing topic, because anything that's nuanced is often more challenging to talk about instead of just being like dismissive. Oh, it's just that, it's nothing, it's just this. But the problem is, because it is so specific and nuanced, sometimes it could be a deep dive. Mm-hmm. We're not afraid to do deep dives around here. We can get as deep as we need to, bringing clarity to the surface of what we're trying to do. So in essence, all I'd like to say is that open gate just means your whole recording area, whether you're on film or digital. And oftentimes it's mentioned that as a benefit of recording, and I do agree it is very beneficial. For instance, with the Alexa Mini LF, like Hadrian was holding up, it records, if you record the whole open gate of the sensor, a 3:2 aspect ratio. Now, how often is it that we're necessarily delivering a 3:2 aspect ratio to the screen? Not that often. But the beauty and the benefit of having that is that you can do a variety of different things. So by having more recording area, you simply have a bigger artistic palette to work within, and you have the compositional opportunity to think about how viewers might see your work. So in that case, you might have something where you know that your idea for framing is primarily a 4:3 image. Like let's say we were shooting for old TV, back when people had CRT, tube TVs, they would say this needs to be TV safe. The old film cameras, like a 4-per film camera, would have about a 4:3 imaging area in open gate on film, but they'd say we need to make this TV safe. So they'd have extra little sketchy frame lines on the ground glass that would be an extraction within that, because if you frame everything to the very edge, thinking that you have the entire canvas, sometimes you might see something you don't want to see, or sometimes you might not see what you're trying to put as the main parts of the frame. So oftentimes they would use that ground glass as a reference, and then in an emergency scenario, if you're filming Terminator 2, one of my favorites of all time, and Arnold is on this edge of the frame and he's just kind of getting out of the frame of the TV safe area, they can go, well, James Cameron can go, well, we were really supposed to see Arnold's whole face here. So we do have it on the original negative. It's not framed exactly where we want it. By the way, nobody ever wants to admit to reframing. I understand it's embarrassing if we have to do it, but if you're capturing more stuff and then cutting into it, it just gives you that little bit of safety net to know, hey, we got it, we're going to be okay.